Tools utilized by professionals in the industry. The next tool we're going to look at is what is quite generally known as SWOT analysis. So the image here, what is a SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis allows you to see your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities and threats. So in the first box, where is strength, you look at the strengths that you have. If you're doing this from a personal point of view, what are your personal strengths? If you're doing this from a business point of view, what strengths does your business have? E.g., your company is doing really, really well, the brand is being recognized, you're moving into new markets, your unique selling points are better than your competitors, your internal skills are strong, you have good assets, your resources may be very, very strong, and from a personal point of view, your communication skills are very strong. You can take yourself to certain points very, very easily with regards to your personal self, with regards to self-discipline. Some people are very good with self-discipline to a certain capacity, that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, when they decide something, they're really, really good at it, and they can make those changes quite rapidly. Weaknesses is things that you lack. So looking at the graph, what do you feel you are weak in? A lot of the times you can see those weaknesses, and those weaknesses are the ones that you can address earlier. Other weaknesses are not visible yet, but this allows you to have a nice base to start with. So with regards to the weaknesses, your competitor might have better unique selling points than you. Your resources may be needing some changes. You might have a huge skills deficit, as industry, especially online, industry changes so rapidly. Companies, one of their major challenges is skills, bridging the skills gap, because new technology comes in. You've got a good cohort, you've got staff who have been with you many, many years, they're very, very loyal, but unfortunately new skills have come in, especially with the transition from bricks and mortar to online. That a lot of companies who are in that position, or who have been in that position, will know that this new technology was very confusing for their existing cohort, and having to bring in new people to fill that skills gap. So looking at that from a weakness point of view, what are your weaknesses? From a personal point of view, you might be looking at it, one of your weaknesses is that you might get angry very, very quickly. One of your weaknesses may be that you know that you are flawed in certain areas, and that's always been a gripe historically, or that you recognize now. So first box is your strengths, second box is your weaknesses. Then opportunities. What are your growth areas? What areas could you potentially grow in? From a business point of view, changes in market, things are growing all the time, especially on a global scale. One of the powers of the internet has been that localized businesses have become globalized businesses because of the medium of the internet. New demands in market. With a little change, you could potentially position yourself to the new opportunities that are available in your market. From a personal point of view, what are the new opportunities? Is there an opportunity for you to grow personally if you add some new skills, or job opportunities, business opportunities, relationship opportunities, friends opportunities, increasing your social circle, increasing your network of friends? Those could be potential opportunities that you have in the opportunities box. And the last one is threats. What is basically the opposite of opportunities? What could be your potential threat? E.g., new emerging markets, new emerging competitors in the marketplace. One of the easiest ones to see and recognize on a global scale is Amazon. Amazon has become a huge threat to so many businesses. There's only an X amount of money in the world. If suddenly one company earns billions of that market, then somebody on the other side is losing billions. And usually, with regards to the Amazon model, the success, the phenomenal success of Amazon has resulted in quite a lot of smaller businesses who got wiped out. So new technologies are coming through all the time. As consumers, you get to see the product that is in the market at the last point because it's aimed for the consumer. So the consumer usually sees these products last. But within industry, there are certain trends, certain technologies that are currently available now. And businesses are just waiting for the right opportunity to pass that down to the consumer. So with all these new technologies that are being created, new ideas are being generated every single day, new threats could be on the horizon. There might be new laws with the GDPR across the EU, especially. GDPR was a big challenge for a lot of the companies, and the change in the law, change in the legislation required a lot of human resources to become compliant, which a lot of the businesses didn't plan for. But it's still, the law changed, and these could be potential threats. Negative press. Social media nowadays, it's become such an important factor of brand awareness, brand management, because one wrong post, companies are posting 2 or 3 times a day sometimes across a multitude of platforms, and they are always susceptible to negative press. That's something that you can consider inside this box. And then the changing attitudes of customers. Customers are changing all the time. Before, you had a whole framework with only a few people within that. Now there's a huge demographic: Generation X, Generation Z, Generation Z, Generation. And where do they come from? Just a few years ago, they wasn't around. What are they going to be called the next one? And what's the next generation going to be called? Millennials. And then what? And what will be the next one? What will be the next one? And attitudes are changing so rapidly. You have the silver surfers. You have so many different names attached to certain demographics, and people are, especially with the power of online, are learning to laser target each generation. So with that changing attitude of customers, how do you fare? So recapping over the SWOT analysis: what are your strengths? Looking at your company, what you're doing well personally as well as a business. What are your weaknesses as a business and personally? What are your growth opportunities? And then what are your threats? So that's the SWOT analysis, and we'll go into further detail.